What's up, guys? I'm here to talk about the Green Bay Packers and their big victory over the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving, 29-22. And first off, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everybody's safe and enjoying time with their families. And let me tell you, this was one of the best Thanksgiving days I've had in recent memory. Just a great day overall. Packers somehow, some way, getting a big victory over the Detroit Lions. And let me start off by saying I absolutely, as I stated in previous weeks, I did not see this coming. I did not think the Green Bay Packers could get a win over the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions were 8-2. Um, Packers have played well the last 2 weeks, but just going into this, just a quick history on Matt LaFleur and Dan Campbell. I said it when we first played Detroit earlier this week, but Dan Campbell, respect. I absolutely respect that guy and the Detroit Lions because their players play to how he coaches. He is the embodiment of Detroit right now. Their players feed off of his energy, and it shows in their games. They play tough, they play physical. The offense is um, doing great things for them. Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery, who's a dog, um, Jahmyr Gibbs, just a lot. Sam Laporta, the rookie from Iowa, just absolutely, they're playing great football right now. So going into this, I thought we were kind of going to get smoked. I thought the Packers were going to get beat pretty badly. Honestly, I was thinking like at least lose by 14 type thing. But back to the history with Matt LaFleur and Dan Campbell. Let's just say going into this game, Dan Campbell, in my opinion, was in the mind of Matt LaFleur 100%. He just um he just had his number. I like Matt LaFleur a lot, but I just think sometimes he just plays very underwhelming, and he almost plays to what their other team is instead of going above and beyond and being the best that you can be. And I just think Dan Campbell, again, this is all my opinions, but I think Dan Campbell just has Matt LaFleur's psyche, and he, you could just tell he's the if Matt and Dan are in the room, Dan's the alpha, and he just knows. It just felt like he knew exactly what Matt LaFleur led teams are gonna do, and the Detroit Lions have been, even with the Rodgers years, the Detroit Lions have always given us a lot of fight and a lot of problems. And, I think Detroit has won the last two or three against Green Bay, dating back to a couple seasons. So, and I'm obviously the Detroit Lions knocking the Packers out of a potential playoff spot last year, which I thought would put the biggest, sour into a sour mouth into Matt LaFleur's off season, and I was hoping that he was going to use it as motivation and fuel that I'm not going to lose that guy. And that first game against Detroit, just they absolutely piss pounded the Green Bay Packers. So again, I just didn't have much faith going into this, and let me tell you, what a fucking game! in recent memories, like you think of week 1 against the Bears, like that was a great victory. Last year against the Dallas Cowboys, that was just a great victory. Last year against the Minnesota Vikings at Lambeau Field, just like a great team win. This one ranks right up there, spoiling the Detroit Lions Thanksgiving Day, just ruining their day basically, and it was fucking so awesome. I was fucking happier than a pig in shit. It was just amazing. Let me just get into the offense. Jordan Love had his fucking best game of the year. Once again, progressing. We go into the season. Packer fans are my expectation, like I've said in previous times, I would have loved for them to sneak into the playoffs, like as a low seed. Like I think that'd be a win. For all the reasons I've stated before, XYZ. But the whole season is about the Green Bay Packers progressing and getting $66 million of cap thrown away this season. So, it's behind them. But we need to see from the start of the season to the end of the season that this team is progressing and getting better every single week. And without a doubt, these past 3 weeks, Jordan Love has been getting better and better and better. You can see it in his game. You can see in his mechanics, the way he commands the huddle, the way he's throwing the football, the way he's just becoming the leader of the offense. And, I think they're getting close, and they might have hit it already, but in my opinion, I think they're getting close to securing Jordan Love as their longtime quarterback going into years to come for Green Bay. And it's just so great how he's running the offense right now. It's not perfect by any means. Long ball, deep accuracy issues, still something he's got to work on 100%. But man, what a great day for him. Had 3 touchdowns today. And let me just say, it was just, I get, to start off the game, there's a big topic of conversation that Matt LaFleur was going back and forth which play he was going to run the very first play. And ultimately, he went to Christian Watson before the game and said, hey, I think it's going to be going your way. So be ready. Go up and attack the ball. Like all the Packers fans have been wanting Christian Watson to attack the ball in the air, help your quarterback out. And they did just that. The very first play, Matt LaFleur changed how Detroit was. It was Detroit always fucking setting the tone for every single game. Now it was nice that Matt LaFleur got the coin flip, said we're receiving the ball after always deferring. He's like, we want to receive the ball and start off on offense. Like, I love that shit. And first play, he draws up 50-yard bomb to Christian Watson. And 100%, it was a little underthrown by Love. You'd like to see him get get just some more tick, just more, a little bit more, get some air onto it. Let your guy go and get it. And everybody, including me, has been a little bit dogging on Christian Watson. But, man, again, without a doubt, like we've been saying, he has some physical abilities that, it's just God-given shit where he just always gets a step on these guys, these cornerbacks, these DBs, especially on these go routes. He's always 2 or 3 steps ahead of the guys. But anyways, to make a long story short, Jordan Love throws the ball to him, a little underthrown, like I said, but Christian Watson goes up and fights and attacks for the ball, grabs it, 53-yard gain, and just gets the drive going immediately, puts them on their, 30, their Detroit's 30-yard line. Ultimately, they end up scoring from that too, a touchdown. And it was just great to see. And just all these pieces that, you know, it just like, let me transition to like the wide receivers of this offense. Um, you know, uh, I'm going to talk about a guy, Alan Lazard, and I love Alan Lazard. Made some key third down plays to help us out last year for the Green Bay Packers. Um, Signed like a 4-year, 44 million, something like that with the Jets. And today he was inactive for the Jets for unknown reasons. And the man's going to be making $12 million just for the 2023 season. And so that's 12 million for him. The combined money total for the wide receiver group for the Green Bay Packers this year combined is 7.5 million. So all of our receivers 7.5 million. Alan Lazard this year 12 million. And it's just a cool thing to see, like, because these guys are playing well, they're getting better each and every week. Jayden Reed, just an absolute dog, a guy that Green Bay has not had possibly ever. It's kind of like Randall Cobb, and I'm not gonna say he's prime Randall Cobb yet, by no means, but he's just a different type of gadget wide receiver. These jet sweeps that they're having Jayden Reed do is just playing. They're just executing really well in this offense, and he's just been such a dog in the slot, getting open, making great catches, making these explosion plays just to help the offense, help your quarterback, help the vibes. Jayden Reed, I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he could be a star. I'm not going to say it right now, but he is on the right track to do great things. Romeo Doubs, he's the guy that if you need a guy to catch the ball, he's going to go out and use his man hands and grab that ball and secure it. And I love his game so much. He had like 4 catches yesterday. Um, you know, uh, going into the game, you didn't have Dontavian Wicks today with a concussion. Another rookie who's I really like. He's got a lot of Devontae isms in his game, but he's playing great. Luke Musgrave, the tight end, who's also a rookie, who unfortunately was placed on IR and was having a great season. I think he's 13 yards away from passing Bubba Frank's rookie tight ends receiving yards in franchise history. He's like 13 yards away, but he's been playing really, really good football for a rookie. It's just a lot of great potential signs, and Christian Watson, again, like I said, Packer fans have been dogging on him. I'm one of them too. I just think he could be way better. He's got great physical abilities. But he came to play today. He helped out his quarterback, made a few catches today, got a touchdown today on a nice deep post corner. Great throw by Jordan. And let me tell you, there's so many franchises that are going through a lot of shit right now. You got the Jets. Obviously Aaron Rodgers is going to want his guys there, and so he's got a lot of his former Packers players that he loves on the team, but they're really going through it right now. Like I said, Alan Lazard randomly is inactive today. You got Billy Turner on the team. You got Randall Cobb, who's been inactive for weeks too. And by all accounts, what we've heard, they've all been healthy scratches. And just to see stuff like this is and just so many other teams in the league. You got the New Orleans Saints, who are in, by all accounts, salary cap hell for the next 2 to 3 years because they constantly wanted to throw it back and run it back with Drew Brees every single year until literally his arm was fucking off. Like, Drew Brees can't even throw with a football anymore because how many times they ran it back with the Saints, and they're once again in salary cap hell for like the next 2 years. They're like $200 in debt type thing. But my point being is Brian Gutekunst, the general manager. Love him or hate him, I'm a big fan of the guy. Doesn't do great on all of his picks, but he does. It's not 100% successful, but nobody is on his draft picks. But they've been really paying dividend these last 2 drafts. Like, they've been absolutely on the money. Yeah, I think they had like 8 or 9 draftees this last season, and like 6 or 7 of them are contributing like big time right now on this team. Now, it's not necessarily the thing you want necessarily, but with the situation of the Green Bay Packers being $66 million just paying Aaron Rodgers in the cap this year, you got a lot of young guys playing, and the Green Bay Packers have a way that they do things. They draft and develop. I get jealous when I see other teams going in free agency, making these trades. I want the Green Bay Packers to be one of those teams, but they have set a standard, since the early 90s that this is the way that we're going to do. They're going to draft and they're going to develop guys, thinking of guys like a throwback guy like Lane Taylor, a guy from Oklahoma State, like in 2015, never played much at all, just sat on the roster for a few years, didn't play much, and then all of a sudden when his number was called, when injuries happened, he had to step in. They come right in and play successfully. There's guys like a guy who played today that had like 4 great catches today. Malik Heath, an undrafted rookie from Ole Miss. He's a receiver, subbing in for Dontavian Wicks today. They just been playing great. Like, just another guy that has just been kind of sitting on the practice squad, just doing his thing. But they draft and they develop these kids, so whenever the time is that certain things happen in the NFL, they can just plug right in and fit right into the offense. So it's been great to see that. Malik Heath, just a great game today. Like I said, 4 catches. Let me talk about another kid, Green Bay Packers, that haven't had success in the 3rd round drafting. That's been Brian's biggest flaw and Ted Thops' biggest flaw. They somehow, some way can't draft a 3rd round pick. Well, it's not 100% a win yet, but another one who's on the right track, Tucker Kraft, the kid from South Dakota, playing tight end. Like I stated earlier, Luke Musgrave, he was put on IR this year, or last week, so he's going to be out for at least 4 games. So Tucker Kraft didn't have much playing time this year. Went through a lot of growing traits, making a lot of missed blocks in key games, but Matt LaFleur stated that the kid keeps on coming back, getting better every single day. He showed him a lot in practice, made good blocks, making good catches, had a couple opportunities in other games, made the most of them, had a great day yesterday, caught his first NFL touchdown, and just like another cool thing to see as a fan. It's just cool to see like these young guys, learning, growing together, and producing in NFL games. It's really been one of my favorite seasons. And yes, the Packers are 5-6 right now. If they were 5-6, like even 2-3 years ago, I'd be so pissed as a fan. But without a doubt, this is one of the most fun seasons. And it's a double-edged sword because this team, if they lose, it's gonna be because they're a lot of inexperience, making mistakes, um, not executing. So then it's just gonna be the losses are gonna be very, very frustrating. But when they win, it's great because that means they're executing well, doing things right, and it's cool because they're young and learning and growing together. So it's just a great sign of the future for 2024 and 2025 to see how they do. So the wins mean that much more to this team. Um, but shout out to the Packers offense. Aaron Jones was questionable going in the game, was out, unfortunately. A.J. Dillon, everybody was dogging on him weeks 1 through 5, has since played a lot better. Not putting up huge numbers, but he's running tough and getting those short yardage, third and shorts that you need him to do. That's why you draft a guy like him to power through the offensive line and just get those tough yards. Especially when the snow comes, you want guys like him. You want guys like him on in your backfield making plays. So it's just great. Jordan is just playing so much better, and it's great when you get most excited when Jordan throws those 7-yard 7, 8, 9-yard plays to A.J. Dillon, because that means Jordan's snapping the ball. All right, he's noticing that he's going through his progression. He's noticing that nobody's open, and then he just checks it down to A.J. Dillon, and you can see that he's reading the field, going through his progression, staying poised, and making the correct decision, because that's exactly what you need on this offense and in the NFL for your quarterback. You can name out so many guys that just go, snap the ball, see their one read, and then just go straight to the check down. He's going through all of his reads and then making the correct decision. And it's been great these past 3 games. Hopefully he can continue to get better and keep on the right track to keep getting better, because next week's going to be a tough game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm so excited because Sunday Night Football, it's going to be great. But I just want to finish up talking about the defense. This is going into this game, I thought the defense is just going to be the reason why we lose, missing a lot of guys. Jair Alexander, Devondre Campbell, so many guys. Rudy Ford, your starting safety. Darnell Savage, your safety. You're missing everybody. Their 4 DBs are 2 7th-round pick rookies this year. A practice squad guy and a guy who was on the Texans last year. And they played fucking great. Joe Barry, you can say what you want about him as a defense coordinator. I've had my things with him, but his philosophy is he doesn't want to give up the deep ball plays. And you didn't really see that too much at all yesterday from Detroit. And so he plays to have everything, don't give up anything. We're going to play everything, we're not going to let anybody get behind us. We're just going to let them dink and dunk us down the field. And yes, that will ultimately lose you games, but today they played great. They just dinked and dunked, but the guys pursued to the football, and it was great. I want to talk about Rashawn Gary. Got paid a few weeks back, became top 3 edge players pay-wise, and he absolutely produced fucking yesterday. He had 3 sacks, which was a career high, including 2 forced fumbles. Excuse me. Without a doubt, he will most likely win Defensive Player of the Week. That man's a dog. He's a guy that you root for, especially 1 year ago. Prior to that, he tore his ACL in Detroit, comes back a year later, gets 3 sacks, gets 2 forced fumbles. The man is an absolute dog, and he shot up, my rankings as top Packers. He's a guy you root for, and I'm just happy to have him on the Packers. And another guy I just want to give credit, Preston Smith, who, by all accounts, including me, think this is probably going to be his last year in Green Bay. Everybody wants him out, but man, these last few weeks, he's been playing fucking tough. Against Penei Sewell, who's regarded as one of the best offensive tackles in this league, played him fucking hard. Just gave him a lot of work, and even something to that I forgot to mention in the offense. Zach Tom, our right tackle, second year player, who's a 4th round pick, had his fucking way with Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson has been fucking on the Packers' ass since he came into the league, and yesterday his name was not even mentioned all game. Zach Tom played a fucking hell of a game, and just fucking held Aiden Hutchinson to nothing. You didn't hear him at all. That guy's a dog. I fucking love Zach Tom. He's a great piece to have for a future, especially at right tackle, defending Love. But another guy on the defense, Carrington Valentine, the cornerback, like I mentioned, a 7th round rookie. He just plays with such a swagger. Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown had some catches today, but he had to work for him. Carrington was just all over him, making him work, and that's what you can't ask for much with these 7th round picks, and this guy is living up to that and more. Just love how he's playing. Love how this team's playing these last few weeks. Like I said, I didn't think they would win against the Chargers or Detroit, and they got 2 wins. I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs next Sunday night, but the way they're playing, and with it being in Green Bay, I'm excited for the game. I still don't think they're going to win, but I'm excited to see how they play against Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, and company. And once again, this is one of my favorite seasons right now. It's fun seeing the come up on these young guys and watching these guys play, because there's so many other franchises where they're just guys aren't playing to expectations, and no NFL team's perfect with draft picks and developing, but right now it's been positive the last few weeks. So love seeing these young guys get success. I just love seeing them learn how to win in the NFL. That's what you want. You want guys to learn to win NFL games. Yeah, it's fun to if your team is losing, you're like, oh, well, let's just tank or whatever. But, I just love seeing, my team every Sunday win, so they can just keep getting better for the future. And then they know how to win in these different type of circumstances and situations and games, so they can be better and learn for the next time, so they can just keep getting better. Because ultimately, we want to win a Super Bowl. We want another Super Bowl trophy back in Titletown. And by doing that is having these guys learn, go to practice, get better every single day, and learn how to win. So I'm done with my rant. I'm just excited. I'm excited where this team's going, and I can't wait to watch next Sunday. Hopefully Aaron Jones gets back. Hopefully Jair gets back. Hopefully Devondre Campbell gets back, because I'm excited. But what can I say? It's been great. So happy Thanksgiving, guys. Thanks for watching.